The Concrete Connection project acknowledges that the land this podcast was recorded and filmed on is the traditional lands of the Kaurna people, and we respect their spiritual relationship with their country. Well, g'day and welcome to the Concrete Connection project podcast, where we're out and about trying to perform and create on every single street of the Adelaide CBD and the City of Adelaide area. And we're back on the famous bench which has sat Novak Djokovic, it's sat Spence Denny, Courtney Robb, and now joining me today on this glorious day in Adelaide is Adam Blesing. Thanks for joining me, mate.
Thanks for having me.
No worries.
What a lovely bench it is.
It's a beautiful bench and with a beautiful man.
Stop it.
Well, you are a singer and bass player of a very popular Adelaide band, Dojo Rise.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about what's going on with Dojo Rise at the moment.
Well, we're recording a whole bunch of music at the moment, so that's been pretty exciting. We've got a...
Right in the flight path here.
Right in the flight path.
Yeah.
We're recording some new music at the moment. We've actually just got a new drummer, so that's very exciting for us. He's Ben Todd, who's actually my cousin. So that's been really fun, just trying to write some new music with a new drummer, and then we've got a few shows coming up in summer. A little festival in Queensland, and some shows around town, hopefully, that's getting locked in at the moment. So
excellent. Well, I want to go back in time a little bit before we talk too much about Dojo Rise, but I've been listening to a lot of the earlier records recently, and the production is incredible. Are you really tight and really polished sound, and because you guys, well, I've definitely seen some footage of you on socials. Do you do a lot of or at least the pre-production by yourselves, or what's the process?
We do everything ourselves.
Yeah, that's so good.
So we do, because we're in different states. So I live in Adelaide, but Sean, who plays guitar and sings, and he's the brains behind all the production. He lives in New South Wales, so we kind of, when we're creating it'll be like, I'll create a demo, just record something, send it to him, and then we sort of, sometimes it'll be back and forth a bit, or sometimes it'll just be like one of us will write a song, and then it's like, okay, let's just polish this now. But sometimes, most of the time when I send him a demo, it's pretty average, but and then he has to then re-record it, and then we sort of just go bounce back and forth, and now having Ben playing drums with us, he has his own recording studio at home, so now we can actually record drums ourselves.
Wow, powerhouse now. Yeah,
so now it's great. We can literally record everything ourselves. We used to outsource the recording drums, and we'd go into a recording studio, but now we're lucky enough to be able to do the whole thing ourselves. So, and that's all. Sean is just he studied sound engineering, and so he's deep in it. I don't understand any of it. But.
Well, as we were talking off camera before, I don't understand the mixing side of it either. But it's great to have someone on board that does, because I was running the last few days listening to a couple of your EPs, and then once the EP finished, then it bounced. Apple Music will then put you onto something that sounds similar, and I thought, oh wow, they really let this one slip, and it wasn't you guys, because the quality had just dipped so much, and I'm like, wow, it really stands up, and the quality is amazing. So you have to let him know how good it is.
Definitely, that's awesome to hear.
Now, speaking of Sean, as well, we crossed paths many years ago, maybe in the realm of 12 to 15 years ago, because you guys played in a band called Poetical Justice.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so I knew you a little bit back then. I've been reacquainted with you on a few things we'll get into later in more recent years, but since the ending of PJs, what's Adam Blesing been doing in between Dojo Rise and Poetical Justice?
I did lots of things. I moved around a lot. I moved to Queensland. I left PJs and I started playing in a stoner rock band. That sort of didn't last too long before the drummer moved interstate, and then I ended up moving to Queensland and lived on Hamilton Island for 2 years.
Oh, that's right. That's another thing we had in common.
Yeah. So that was a hoot. Many experiences were had on that island. And then I moved to Melbourne for a couple of years, and sort of spent some time there, and went, I don't like Melbourne so much. It's very busy, and I just sort of missed Adelaide. I missed places like, this beautiful park that we've got in the city, and the like quietness of Adelaide. I missed it and came home, and and then started to get back into music again, because before that, when I was away, I was just doing like playing solo, and I pick up bass and play bass with a solo act or something every now and then, but came back here and started. I actually joined a band called the Fraud Millionaires.
Oh yeah.
As their like, I kind of just went to a rehearsal because I've been friends with the guys for ages, and then they were like, I was at the rehearsal, and then they just gave me a mic, and so I started singing harmonies, and then they were like, oh, do you want to join the band? And I was like, sure, why not? What do you want me to do? And so I ended up just being like a hype guy.
Oh, that's the dream, being a hype man.
Just jump up on stage and sing a little bit and jump around and try and get everyone pumped. And then, out of that, Sean then also joined that band, and then that band kind of like fizzled out, and me and Sean decided we wanted to keep something going, and so we just started Dojo, and and that's pretty much how it all happened.
So now, listening to the album or the EPs and all the singles, like you've been pretty foot to the floor since 2021 was it? Is it around the start?
I think we started writing in about 2019, and then we started releasing 2020, like right in the middle of COVID.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because I had a question, because Dojo Rise is very positive. Like, I was getting very positive vibes coming from it. The music's very upbeat, it's lifting. Even the ones which maybe the lyrical content is not as joyous, or as some of it is still very uplifting and positive. Was that like a bit of the mission when you guys started? It's like, all right, we want to get a band that's just sending out positive vibes. Yeah, pretty at 110%.
Well, not even 110%. I think yes, that was the idea, but also not without sugarcoating everything. Accepting that life isn't always 100% positive, and you kind of have to have the dark with the light. And so we've tried to do that, tried to create positive music and with a positive outlook, but also discussing things that aren't so positive, but and then always trying to turn it around, it's definitely a conscious decision to try and make positive music, and I don't know. I think one of the big things for us is to create music that is like an escape for people to out of the mundane, and just trying to have fun. You know?
Yeah. Well, definitely, you guys champion a lot of the live recordings. King of the GoPro on the bass. But it is super positive, and I didn't mean it was going to sugarcoating positivity or anything like that, but I think it just radiates really nicely, and I think was created in COVID. So was that as you were saying, life isn't always positive all the time, and then was COVID a tricky time for you guys, or was that, and then that's why well, let's try and turn this around and do something positive to maybe balance out the time we're not, the good times we're not having right now?
I think like our whole plan was to literally, we were ready to start playing live when COVID hit. So it kind of put us on the, like, we sort of had to rearrange everything. Like we'd already released our first EP before we played a show. And then I think we actually, when we first played a gig, we were releasing our second EP at that point. And farting in the streets with motorbikes. So yeah, I mean, it kind of threw us off a little bit, but it also helped us focus on recording music. So we spent more time focusing on getting recordings right, rather than like
the chemtrails again.
So yeah, I don't know about the content didn't change so much. Although we did write a song. I wrote a song that was just about wanting to be able to dance again. Because I think we did play a couple of shows in COVID and like seated gigs and stuff. But that was one song we wrote that was just like pure dance floor track, and that's literally what it was written about, was being able to dance. And and it's been really cool to see that come to life and actually work. So
yeah, I'm wondering if it was probably beneficial to really, I'm not saying COVID was beneficial for everyone, obviously it was bad, but I think maybe for the band it, could really polish that live show. I think maybe it got you guys better. Yeah,
for sure.
And then you've gone on to do some great things, supported some of your favourite bands, and played, I think, the ultimate dream for South Australian artists is to play WOMAD.
Yeah, absolutely. That literally was total dream come true. That was. We like, when we started the band, we were like, that was like one of the big goals for us, was to like try and get to WOMAD Adelaide and play WOMAD. So to achieve that was like, we did it, and I was kind of like, well, now what?
Yeah.
Like,
well, you kind of forget, sometimes, well, for me personally, kind of forget of those momentous occasions, because I have played WOMAD too.
Yeah, I was going to mention, yes.
But this is about you, not me, of course. But sometimes you forget, there are a lot of bands and people out there that would love to do that show, that would kill to, get on that stage, and it's like, sometimes you just got to take a seat back and go, be proud of the things you achieve and remember those moments.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not good to dwell on the past, and it's good to look forward, but it's also good to go, I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the coolest thing about that gig was that we were able to, like, normally we're a 3-piece, and for that gig, I always wanted to do it with a bigger band, and so we were able to do it as an 8-piece band. So we had my older sister and my cousin on backing vocals, and that was the gig that Ben joined us on drums, and Ben's my cousin. And then we had a 3-piece horn section from a band in New South Wales called Subtribe, and we just recently become friends with those guys, and they're incredible musicians. And they were able to, they were playing at WOMAD in another band, and we were like, we just recorded a song with them, and we were like, hey, you guys are playing, we're playing, like, why don't we do something together? And it all worked out. So
that's great.
It was amazing.
But you've actually played it more than once, haven't you? Did you play it with Rob?
Oh yeah, I did. I played with Rob Edwards the year before.
Wow, there's not many South Australian artists that can claim the dub back-to-back WOMADs, because I think they're pretty strong on making sure they mix up the lineup and stuff. Well, that's the good thing about being a handy bass player.
Yeah. That was really cool. But I think so that first time was like, that was cool, because it was like, oh my god, I get to play WOMAD, this is amazing. But doing it with my own band was like that next level, like to be able to play your own songs. Yeah. To a festival like that was pretty special. Yeah, I definitely can agree with that. Yeah. And so
we were talking before. You're one of the rare breeds that have been able to now, get rid of the day job and then take music on full time. Obviously, you're doing Dojo Rise, but also as a solo musician as well.
Yeah.
You've hung up the tools.
Yeah, I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very much so. It's been great.
And so what were you doing for a day job?
I was a landscaper for like 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I worked in, I worked in horticulture doing garden maintenance and garden design and landscaping, construction. And I just was getting older and starting to get more and more sore and thought, I don't really want to do this forever. And started playing gigs. Like I started playing solo gigs like probably 4 years ago or something like that. And just sort of did it on the side, just maybe a few gigs a month, and then just started doing more and picking up more here and there, and then it just got to the point where I was working full time and then gigging four nights over the weekend. 4 times 4 nights, that wouldn't be good. 4 times over the weekend, and then it just got to the point where I don't really need to landscape anymore. I can do this full time. So and then did that take a bit of planning? Because I've done that, been those moments a few times in my life, and definitely gone down the full-time musician route, but it can be a bit volatile in terms of its consistency. Yep. How are you finding that going at the moment? It's been pretty good so far. Obviously, winter, there's always a bit of a lull in winter, but I'm just sort of coming out of that now. But then there's the Adelaide City Council's been doing some really cool stuff over winter. They're doing these winter warmer gigs, and I've been lucky enough to be able to get involved in that, and that's really, really helped over the last 2 winters actually. They're doing all these shows at cafes and out on the streets and stuff, so that has actually helped heaps over the winter periods. But so far it's been pretty good. I've been really lucky.
Well, it doesn't sound like winter's been much of a problem, because did I see you did 6 gigs in a weekend the other day?
I've done six gigs last weekend, 6 gigs this weekend. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe you should go back to landscaping.
It's getting that point. I'm like, this is exhausting.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it can be physical doing that many shows as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, good on you.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of COVID and things stemming out of tough times, and then speaking of us, I guess, reconnecting a little bit after the Poetical Justice days, and then because we met again doing a project in which I did hiking the Hyson Trail with, I don't know about officially, but your brother-in-law Simon Kither from Kither Co. He came along and put together a crew of about 10 hikers, and we went and recorded a little EP and filmed it along the Hyson Trail for a little night-long hike. But you and your now fiance, Deb, actually did the whole Hyson Trail. Yeah. And did you do that in one hit?
Yep, one hit.
Wow.
57 days, I think it was.
So that 57. Well, that's a quick run, I think, isn't it? No, I think
it wasn't. It wasn't long, but it wasn't short. We actually met a couple. These 2 New Zealand girls, who were hiking at the same time, and they did. I reckon they did it in 30 something days.
Wow.
They were so fast. We crossed paths with them a couple of times. We walked with them one day, and they literally, I could not keep up with them. They were so fast. It was like
Kiwi power.
Yeah, amazing fitness. But we did that. That was amazing. That was life-changing.
Yeah. We did the overnight hike together. For me, that was life-changing. But the 59 night hike. So was it hard as well as rewarding? Yeah.
Very hard, very rewarding. there was a couple of points where I almost didn't think I was going to make it on the first day.
Yeah.
Like literally that hike that we did, that was our first day. And you know we walk up to like Cobbler's Hill, that hill there. My legs just seized up on that hill, and I like literally we had to stop, and I ate like 4 bananas and like basically just chewed electrolyte, there's electrolyte tablets, and I just said to Deb, just go ahead, like just let me be, I'll get up there no matter what. And it was, I just wanted her to go forward so I could
slump your way up.
Yeah. But I was like yelling at myself, like, come on. Like, it was pretty funny. But and then a couple of weeks up, like it was sort of like I got to the top, we got to finish the day, and then the next day I was just like, I just need to get through the next day, because I'm looking at the maps and I'm like, oh, we just need to get over that hill and then I'll be fine. And it was pretty much like that for like the rest of the time.
One more hill.
Yeah, I just need to get over this one hill.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. So I think doing hard things, I think, is incredibly rewarding, and
it changed my perspective on life, like in general. Like just being able to, not take things for granted as much, like really, really be thankful for the things that we had, like especially when we got home. I think coming home and like, we've been lucky enough to be able to buy a house, and just like to have a home with a roof and have food. Like just those two simple things is just like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like even, on the trail, like there'd be things like, oh, there's a log. Oh, that looks like an awesome seat.
Yeah.
Like, and just being so thankful for that log on the ground, and, just those little things that we take for granted in everyday life. Like, yeah, it really shifted my focus on life, really.
Probably widens the focus, to appreciate more things around you. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a great seat, or there's a good bush.
Like this, like how lucky are we to be able to just like sit in a park in the middle of the city, and there's a nice bench and a beautiful tree and nice view. Like, it's just, we're very lucky.
Yeah, anything like that on the horizon again?
Not yet, but I really want to do, there's another trail in WA called the Bibulum Track, and I really would like to do that. That's like a little bit shorter than the Hyson Trail, but pretty similar. But that one goes through a lot more national parks, and you go through rainforests and coastal national parks, and whereas the Hyson Trail, there's a big section where you're just walking through like sheep paddocks and stuff like that. So I'd really like to do that one day. But
we recorded that show, or that journey on that hike, and then we did a concert, and you actually said something that was quite a compliment to me after, but also quite offensive.
What did I say?
Well, I think you thought I was about 7 or 8 years older than I actually was.
Oh,
but
right.
I too have been on Hamilton Island, so I've lived a colourful life, which might have aged me a little bit. But the one thing you did say is like, oh, you're giving me hope. And I'm like, oh, why is that? It's like, oh, well, being a man in your 40s as well, or something like that. You're, it's good to see that you're doing well musically. And I'm like, oh, well, I am only like 37.
What a jerk.
But it was also nice to, it was also a nice thing to hear you say, oh, you're inspiring you to, felt like I was achieving something by you recognising that. So that was a really nice thing, despite thinking I was 7 years older than I was.
I think I remember what I said to you. I'm pretty sure I just thought you were older than me. I think that's all it was, and I think it's just because you're a dad. And I think you've got dad vibes. I don't have kids, so like that's probably what it is, man.
Or maybe it was more the nurturing vibe of dad vibes. Oh, okay, I like that.
You've got that fatherliness about you.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad we could clear that up after 4 years.
You've been really, it's really been stewing inside for a while now.
That's why you're here, actually.
Yeah. And another thing.
Yeah. But no, it is, I think, well, we're both probably now in the maturer side of our careers in terms of what the music business, at least the stereotypes of the music business expects or society expects. But it is leading to a question. Do you think maybe coming out of COVID, those stereotypes or that expectation of being the 18, 19, up to 25-year-old singer, being that young singer is sort of not so at the forefront anymore? Or do you think I think things like COVID and how things opened up digitally and stuff there's a bit more of a platform, a bit more of a voice for the more mature age musician and artist?
Honestly, I don't know. I've actually been battling with this in my head recently of am I too old to be doing this? Does anyone care anymore? Battling these, things that we go through and, and I think it's all nonsense, really. Mm-hmm. I think it's you do what you do because you love it. You don't do it because of what other people think.
Correct, yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know if has the stigma changed. I don't know. All I know is that there's heaps of artists that I know that are around my age that are still doing amazing stuff and writing some of the best music they've ever written. So I think as long as you're still all in on it, I think that's the thing. I think it's when you because a lot of people, they might get to that, this is the time and, you have other priorities and maybe you don't put as much energy into it and maybe, I don't know, maybe that's what happens and some people just it just becomes a little bit more of a hobby rather than the full passion. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a tricky one. I'm definitely going through those emotions that are I don't know. But then I'm starting to, my taste in music is changing, so I'm writing different stuff now. I'm hoping to start releasing some music solo soon, because I've been doing a lot of writing just on acoustic. And I'm gonna do that with no expectations, and well,
that's it. Yeah, doing it for the love of it. But I think there is a period where if you still are all in on it, and then you get to a certain age, and then you stop. Well, I think you definitely stop caring what people think, and you decide. And I don't think it's like a midlife crisis. I think it's more like a midlife awakening. It's you don't really
absolutely.
And people definitely perceive those things like this project as a bit of a midlife crisis. But to me, it just gets to a point where you can break. Yeah, you just keep doing what you love and doing what you want to do, and not pandering to the thoughts of others or society. And I definitely agree with that. I had my 40th a few months ago, and my auntie actually asked me so did you find at this point in your life, have you had any epiphanies, or any things that have really changed your thought process on life? And I think I was I think that kind of already happened a few years ago, where I just stopped caring what other people thought of me. I really don't care anymore. I just want to do what I want to do, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, that's fine too. I don't want to let other people affect the way I live my life, So you can't let other people make you let yourself down, I guess.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's sort of doing when I think a lot of people get trapped in their own heads,
totally.
About are we too old? Are we too young? Are we too... Yeah, I don't know. But I think is you stay true to yourself and authentic to yourself. I think that's the way. Because this is a mental health podcast as well, so I think without asking the questions, we're getting there. We're getting into these topics anyway. So, thank you for that. And I do ask everyone, what is mental health? What do the words mean to you?
The words mental health.
Yeah. It's pretty broad.
It's very broad.
And some people don't know how to answer it. But
I mean, mental health is something that is pretty important to me because I've had struggles with mental health, and I've had lots of friends that have had struggles with mental health, and so I'm very conscious of it. In that, whether that's being open with friends and talking about mental health openly and not shying away from things like that. I'm always pretty open about that sort of stuff, but yeah, I've dealt with depression and anxiety and all that sort of stuff over the years. I feel like I'm in a really good place at the moment, but yeah, I've definitely had some struggles over the years, and I think the thing with mental health is the more open we are with sharing things with other people, the less of a burden it becomes. What's that? There's a saying a problem shared is a problem halved.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah, and I think it's so true. I've always been lucky in that I've always had friends that have also gone through similar things and are also very open, and especially being a male, a lot of there's I think not so much these days. I think men are a bit more open to sharing their feelings, and especially with each other, and but yeah, I've been lucky and have really supportive friends like that. So yeah, I think it's a big thing, mental health.
Yeah, and I think it's still being navigated. I think we're still learning a lot about it and a lot about the brain and how it works.
Totally.
I love that. That could be the quote of the series. A problem shared is a problem halved. Yeah. And it doesn't.
I don't know who said it, but someone said it.
Well, I'm going to quote you now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it just needs to be shared with someone in private, someone you can trust. It doesn't need to be shared on the internet, or it doesn't need to be shared on social media. Yeah, I find, definitely if with a if we've got problems with a partner, if you talk them out, they're generally not as you share them. I think that the problems do halve, if not more, if not disappear sometimes.
And it doesn't even have to, it's like, you and me could be talking about something. I could just tell you something, and just the getting it out can sometimes be just that little bit of relief that someone needs. They don't always just need an answer. It's that you don't need to. You can just be there for that person and just listen. And sometimes that can be the difference.
Yeah, people don't necessarily need advice, they just need a pair of ears.
Absolutely.
And that person might not need to say anything. Yeah.
Exactly.
There it is. Thanks, Adam. Now, so what's coming up? Another 6 gigs this weekend?
I think it's 4 this weekend.
4. Okay,
just
beautiful.
A quiet one.
Yeah, nice. So, and we're back in the studio with Dojo Rise.
Yeah. Yep, that's happening.
And then, so have we got anything to plug, anything to come up, anything we should share with the listeners?
I was hoping I would have had something, because I'm talking to multiple things at the moment, but they're not locked in. But
that's all right.
I mean, if you're listening in Queensland, we'll be up in Queensland in November at the Mullaney Music Festival.
Yeah, well, I do know there's some. Well, at least been some Queensland guests and at least one Queensland listener.
Hey, there we go. Perfect.
Excellent, mate. Well, I appreciate you coming down. I think that was all the questions I had. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on getting off the spade, not digging holes anymore.
It's a good time.
And appreciate you being here on the podcast.
No,
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate.
Appreciate it.
You stared at me long.